So let's talk about some replacement angles when you're replacing a whole life policy. The cool thing about whole life policies are they have a cash value. So when the client is paid into it for many years, it accumulates that cash value. And with that accumulated cash value, that gives us different options or angles that we can use in replacing that policy and giving the client an upgrade in a couple of different ways. So we can use all the companies that we have as brokers to show these clients better options for the same amount that they're paying every single month. So let's go through a client example of a non-forfeiture table. Now this is a perfect example of a table of non-forfeiture values that you will find in any whole life policy. If the client doesn't have a forfeiture table like this in their policy, you can always call the company and find out the current values of the client's policy. So in this situation, we gave an example of the client's paying $85 a month for $10,000 of coverage. And again, non-forfeiture just means when they cancel, it's what happens to their cash value. So they've built up all this cash value and it's their different options they can take. So let's say that we met the client at the end of year 4. The first angle I could take is the cash value angle, where if they cancel the policy, that is the cash value they are going to receive back from the policy. So the cashback amount in this situation would be $1,044. The next angle that we can take is the reduced paid up angle, which is right here. Reduced paid up insurance is simply if the client stopped paying today, the policy is reduced, the face amount. So the policy would go from $10,000 right up here, $10,000 for 85. It would be reduced to $1,641 and it would be paid up, meaning the client doesn't have to pay any more for the policy. The policy is paid up and it has been reduced to $1,641. So that's option number 2 if they were to cancel the policy. The third option is here in the extended term category. In this situation, if they canceled the policy today and converted it into an extended term, meaning a term policy that's just extending the amount of coverage, that term policy ends in 3 years and 321 days. So that policy is going to use the cash value amount of $1,044 and purchase a $10,000 term policy for the client, and that term policy is going to last 3 years and 321 days. So now let's talk about how we can use each of these angles. Well, if you come to a chart like this and find out the current values of a policy, or you call into a carrier and find out the cash value, the reduced paid up amount, or the extended term amount, here's the different angles that we can take. The first angle is a cash value angle. You're going to use this angle if you can beat their rate dollar for dollar. So again, the client is paying $85 for $10,000 of coverage. Well, let's say they were put into a horrible plan with Lincoln Heritage or some other company. I'm able to get her for the same $85 a month, $10,500 of coverage. Well, it's a no-brainer. I can get her more coverage and I can take the angle of Miss Johnson. For the same amount of $85, I can get you $10,500 of coverage and $1,044 back. What would you spend that money on? Let's just see if we can get you approved. Go grab your driver's license real quick. It's a no-brainer. It's easy. The second way you could use a cash value is maybe you can't beat the rate, but they want the money back so they don't care, and they'll pay more for the same amount of coverage. So let's say in this situation they're 4 years older and the best I can get them is $95 a month for $10,000. Well, I'm a little bit more expensive than what they currently have, but the angle I can take is, Miss Johnson, for just $10 more, I can get you $1,000 back for overpaying all these years. Now you're a little bit older than you were, so it's $10 more, but we're getting you $1,000 back. How's that sound? Awesome, great. Let's go see if we can get you approved. And then I'm going and starting it. The third angle, you can get them less coverage for the same price because they're okay with less coverage and money back. So let's say for $85 a month, I can only get them $9,000 of coverage. Well, in that situation, I would say, Miss Johnson, your budget's tight, $85 a month. Maybe you don't need $10,000, $9,000 would be okay. You're just trying to be cremated. And then we can get you $1,000 back for whatever you may need. So the next angle you can take is if they have a policy that they don't really care about getting money back at all, they just want the best coverage for their family, well, you can take the reduced paid up angle. So in the reduced paid up angle, there's two main situations. One, they don't want cash back, but they want more coverage / better riders for the same price, or they don't care about the cash back and we can't beat the rate. So how can we use the reduced paid up? Here's an example. So in the first one, again, they don't want cash back. They just want better coverage for the same price. So if our rate is $85 for the same 10,000, they might say it's not worth it for me to switch. I'm already paying $85 for 10,000. I've been with them. Well, Ms. Johnson, actually what we can do is we can roll what you've already paid into that policy into a new program. And with the new state regulated programs, you'll get additional benefits and riders. So what does that look like? The reduced paid up, what you've already paid for, Ms. Johnson, is $1,641. So if you stopped paying today, you would get $1,641 for your family. Well, if we roll that into the new coverage, your total coverage with additional benefits and riders would be $11,641. So we can get you upgraded to that preferred program and roll what you already have into that. And what am I doing? I'm just signing them up for a $10,000 policy and I'm converting their old policy into reduced paid up. It's a simple letter you send into the company and then you just keep track of that for your records. If the client passes away, you help that family get the other money from the company. The second situation is if our rate can't beat whatever rate they have because they're now a little bit older. So let's say our rate is $85 for 9,000 instead of 10,000, but the reduced paid up is still 1,641. Well, the total coverage, if they convert to reduced paid up, is 85 for 10,641. You see that? So 9,000 plus 1,641 is 10,641 of coverage, and that's more than what they had. Plus, now they have riders, so you can really harp on the importance of the accelerated death benefit rider, or if it's Mutual of Omaha, the nursing home benefit rider. I made a sale doing specifically just this, where the client didn't want to transfer their coverage. They liked where they were at, but because of the nursing home rider itself, she lived in a higher income facility. She had heard of all these situations where people got their whole life taken away, and for that reason alone, she switched and transferred into reduced paid up, and we got her with a Mutual of Omaha policy. So that's using reduced paid up. And the final angle we could take is extended term. So let's go over the situation. Let's say the client can only get graded coverage, but graded will get them more insurance. So for example, let's say the client was put into expensive policy, but they're already out of the 2-year wait. They're fully covered and they're in pretty bad health. So we can't get them any day one coverage, but we could go Mutual of Omaha graded or AIG graded. The problem is here, we don't want to switch them out of a program where they're fully covered for a plan where they're not covered for the first 2 years. That would be unethical. So what we can do is we can utilize the extended term. So for example, the client's in bad health and can only get graded Mutual of AIG. Our rate is $85 for 12,000, where right now they're paying $85 for 10,000. But their extended term is for 3 years and 321 days. Well, what we can do is we can sign them up the $85 for 12,000. Now they have 12,000 of coverage for the same $85 a month they're paying instead of 10,000 for the same $85 a month. And we can transfer their policy into extended term. And that extended term is going to give them 10,000 of coverage for the next 2 years. After the 2 years, we would stop the extended term. Their policy would be fully in place for 12,000, and we can get them whatever cash value is left over that wasn't spent on the extended term back to them so they could get money back after 2 years. And that is a way that we can really help the client. We're getting them more coverage. They're technically double covered for 2 years. So if they pass in those 2 years, they'll be covered with the extended term, and they're going to get their premiums back plus 10% from the new company. And then after those 2 years, they can get whatever money's left over back and better coverage. So those are the 3 angles that you could take, whether it's cash value, whether it's reduced paid up, or if it's using the extended term non-forfeiture option. So if someone already has a policy, a whole life policy, make sure to find out these values, because these are angles that you can take to get the client an upgrade and get them better coverage, and you can also make a sale. So that's how you use different non-forfeiture options, and we're going to see you in the next one.